Hello, Rising Tide clients, and welcome to your market update for the March quarter of 2024. As I've done previously, I'm going to walk you through the performance of the Vanguard High Growth Index Fund, which, as we know, is a very good proxy for global stock markets, given 90% of it is invested globally in the stock market, and also very relevant to many of you who have an investment in this product, whether it be inside your superannuation fund or outside your superannuation fund. So, very pleased to report that the March quarter was strong. Excuse the scale here, but I've highlighted it so it's obvious that the March quarter was up just over 8%, which is a very strong quarter, and we welcome with open arms. That brings your year-to-date returns or 12-month return to the end of March, to just over 18%. So really strong performance, doing really good things for all your balances. Of course, we welcome it, but we don't expect it to happen every year. What we expect is much closer to this 8 to 9%, which we've seen in this investment since inception. But of course, celebrate the wins when they come. Now, as we stand here on top of a very good return in this investment, I think it's important to touch on volatility. Volatility in the stock market is completely normal and should be expected. And this chart highlights that. So this is for the US market and shows the blue bars, which is the end of year returns, so the full year returns. You can see the stock market generally finishes above the zero line. We generally get positive returns. We expect 8, 9%. But in almost every year, there's always a sell-off. There's always volatility and intra-year swing. We can see them being very large, such as the GFC and COVID. But typically we see sell-offs in around the 10 to 15% range. Good news is, never feels good when it happens, but good news is that typically the market recovers by the end of the year. So as we stand here on good returns, we welcome them, but we do expect volatility to be normal. We expect volatility throughout the year. We will just be ready for it and watching it for you. Now, the March quarter, so why was the stock market so strong? Look, similar to the previous quarter, global economies remain quite resilient. Unemployment remains low, and inflation, which has been very high, is moderating. And that's a very good backdrop for global companies. It provides a bit of certainty, which everyone craves, and that's seeing some strength in the stock market. One downside to the strong economy is that the market is now factoring in fewer interest rate cuts than previously. As I delivered the message last quarter, I think we're expecting 2 rate cuts here in Australia. Now we're only expecting one interest rate cut towards the end of 2024. Now, an interesting chart that I wanted to share with everyone, a tale of the 2 largest stock markets, or the 2 largest economies. The dark blue line is the US stock market. The lighter blue line is the Chinese stock market. You can see one is very strong, one has been weak. And we are watching this, we are monitoring this, although we have very minimal direct exposure. Obviously, what happens in China is very important to the rest of the world, so it's something here at Rising Tide we are watching. And monitoring the situation. There's some very big trends happening in China, which we can certainly discuss with you if you like. Now, as I did previously, and I'm going to do again, it's really important to connect with what we own, what's beneath all these lines, what's beneath all these investments, these investment returns, and that is these companies, the top 15 holdings of your portfolio, where your money goes, is these top 15 companies, very diversified across Australia and internationally. We can see all the big tech companies there. Considering the previous chart and Australia's dependency on the Chinese economy, very, very happy to see a large international exposure, which is less exposed to that slowing economy. Key there is diversification. This is a very diversified portfolio, which is tried and tested, and we believe will continue to do that. But these are blue chip companies that we all know and understand, and expect to navigate volatility when it comes. So there we have it, March quarter update. Of course, as previously, please reach out with any questions at all to myself or the team at Rising Tide. I'm happy to answer any questions here relating to this presentation or any other investment related questions. We look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your time. Speak next quarter.